Keep these vitamins daily, your brain and body will transform. Let's begin with a fundamental truth. Your brain and body are not fixed systems. They are adaptive, plastic, and constantly rewiring in response to what you feed them, both mentally and nutritionally. And today we're diving into 6 key vitamins and micronutrients that, when taken consistently, can profoundly shift your energy, clarity, and even emotional resilience. First, let's start with vitamin D3. This is not just a vitamin, it's a hormone-like neurosteroid. It impacts over 2,000 genes in your body. Low vitamin D has been correlated with brain fog, depression, immune dysfunction, and even neurodegeneration. You need to hit an optimal level, not just not deficient. Most people need 4,000 IU daily, especially if they're not in the sun. Blood levels should be around 50 to 80 nangliol for cognitive and immune support. Now enter vitamin B12, methylcobalamin form preferred. If you're low on B12, your brain's ability to process, recall, and focus becomes compromised. Chronic fatigue, numbness, irritability, these are signals of deficiency. B12 is also a cofactor in the production of myelin, the insulating sheath that keeps your nerves firing quickly. In short, no B12, no focus. Let's move to something most overlooked, vitamin K2. This vitamin works in tandem with D3. It acts like a traffic cop for calcium, directing it into your bones and away from your arteries and brain tissue. Without it, arterial calcification builds up. This reduces blood flow, which reduces cognition. It's silent but deadly. Next is vitamin C. Not just for immunity, vitamin C plays a direct role in dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin synthesis. It also reduces oxidative stress in the brain, one of the key drivers behind cognitive aging and neuroinflammation. You want at least 500–1,000 milligrams daily, ideally spaced throughout the day. Omega-3s, particularly DHA and EPA, are not vitamins, but their effects are so profound they deserve a seat at this table. They form the very structure of your brain. Without them, your synapses, the connections between brain cells, lose flexibility. And flexibility is everything for learning, memory, and mood stability. Aim for 1,000–2,000 milligrams combined DHA EPA per day. Finally, magnesium. 70% of the population is deficient. It's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions. But more importantly, it helps regulate GABA and NMDA receptors, 2 neurotransmitter systems that directly control your brain's ability to calm down and focus. Want better sleep? Magnesium. Want better learning and memory? Magnesium. Look for magnesium L-threonate or glycinate for best neural impact. Vitamin D3 is far more than just a vitamin. It functions as a neurosteroid hormone with widespread influence across nearly every system in the body. It plays a critical role in regulating over 2,000 genes, many of which are directly tied to brain function, immune strength, and inflammation control. One of its most important functions is its influence on the central nervous system. Adequate levels of vitamin D3 have been shown to support the production of serotonin and dopamine, 2 neurotransmitters essential for mood, motivation, and cognitive performance. Low levels are strongly associated with symptoms like depression, brain fog, poor concentration, and even anxiety. In the immune system, vitamin D3 acts as a regulator, modulating both the innate and adaptive immune responses. This means it helps your body respond to threats like viruses or bacteria more intelligently, preventing overreactions that can lead to chronic inflammation. And inflammation, particularly in the brain, is a silent enemy of focus, learning, and emotional balance. Most people, especially those living in northern climates or spending much of their time indoors, are deficient. Sunlight is the primary natural source of vitamin D, and even then, factors like skin tone, sunscreen use, and age can impair synthesis. Supplementation becomes not just helpful, it's often essential. The key is dosing for optimal, not just sufficient levels. While the RDA may suggest 600–800 IU, studies suggest most adults require between 4,000 IU daily to achieve optimal blood levels in the range of 50 to 80 nang. Pairing D3 with vitamin K2 improves its utilization and prevents calcium misplacement in arteries. Consistency in intake, especially in winter months, can significantly improve cognitive clarity, energy levels, emotional stability, and immune resilience. Vitamin D3 is foundational. Remove the deficiency, and you unlock higher performance across mind and body. Vitamin B12 is essential for the optimal function of your nervous system, energy production, and cognitive health. It plays a foundational role in the synthesis of myelin, the protective sheath around nerves that allows for rapid and accurate signal transmission. When B12 levels drop, this signaling becomes sluggish or erratic, leading to symptoms like numbness, tingling, memory lapses, difficulty concentrating, and even mood disturbances like irritability or depression. What makes B12 even more critical is its involvement in the methylation cycle, a biochemical process vital for DNA repair, neurotransmitter production, and detoxification. Through methylation, B12 helps regulate homocysteine levels,
Elevated homocysteine is a known risk factor for cognitive decline, heart disease, and neurodegenerative conditions. Keeping this process in balance means supporting long-term brain health and slowing the biological aging process. Despite its importance, B12 deficiency is surprisingly common, especially among older adults, vegetarians, vegans, and those with digestive issues. Absorption of B12 requires adequate stomach acid and intrinsic factor, both of which decline with age or can be impaired by medications like antacids or metformin. Symptoms of deficiency can mimic more serious neurological disorders and often go undiagnosed for years. For supplementation, the methylcobalamin form of B12 is the most bioavailable and neurologically active. Daily doses can range from 500 mg to 2000 mg depending on deficiency status, age, and diet. Sublingual or intramuscular routes may enhance absorption for those with gut issues. What's critical to understand is that B12 doesn't just support energy. It governs how efficiently your brain processes information, how resilient your nervous system is under stress, and how well your body maintains cognitive sharpness. Optimizing B12 levels isn't about boosting performance temporarily, it's about protecting the very infrastructure of your brain and nervous system for the long term. Vitamin K2 is one of the most overlooked yet powerful nutrients for protecting both the brain and body. Unlike vitamin K1, which primarily supports blood clotting, K2 plays a critical role in calcium metabolism. It activates proteins like osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein, which ensure that calcium is directed into bones and teeth where it belongs and kept out of arteries and soft tissues where it can do harm. This mechanism becomes especially important for brain health, as arterial stiffness and calcification can reduce blood flow to the brain, impairing memory, focus, and overall cognitive performance. When arteries begin to harden due to misplaced calcium, the brain suffers. Cognitive decline, vascular dementia, and even subtle symptoms like brain fog and forgetfulness are often linked to impaired blood flow. Vitamin K2 helps maintain vascular elasticity, allowing for more efficient circulation and oxygen delivery to neural tissue. K2 also appears to have a neuroprotective role beyond vascular health. Emerging research suggests it may help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain, two key drivers of neurodegeneration. There's even evidence that K2 supports mitochondrial function, which is crucial for sustaining the high energy demands of the brain. Sources of vitamin K2 include fermented foods like natto, certain cheeses, egg yolks, and grass-fed animal products, but dietary intake is often low in modern diets. That's why supplementation, particularly in the MK7 form, which has a longer half-life in the body, is recommended for most people. A daily dose of 100-200 mg of MK7 can offer significant benefits when paired with vitamin D3, as the two work synergistically. By maintaining the balance between calcium deposition and removal, vitamin K2 not only supports stronger bones and a healthier heart, but also preserves cognitive function, sharpness, and mental clarity well into old age. Vitamin C is widely known for its role in immune defense, but its importance to brain health is equally profound. This water-soluble antioxidant plays a crucial part in synthesizing key neurotransmitters, such as dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin, chemical messengers that govern everything from focus and motivation to mood and emotional balance. Without adequate vitamin C, the brain's ability to produce and regulate these neurotransmitters diminishes, often leading to symptoms like fatigue, irritability, lack of mental clarity, and even depression. One of vitamin C's most vital functions is its role as a neuroprotective antioxidant. The brain, though only about 2% of the body's weight, consumes more than 20% of its oxygen. This high metabolic rate makes it particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress, an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants that damages cells over time. Vitamin C neutralizes these harmful free radicals, protecting neurons from inflammation and degenerative changes associated with aging, Alzheimer's disease, and cognitive decline. Beyond protecting brain cells, vitamin C supports the integrity of the blood-brain barrier and helps recycle other antioxidants like vitamin E, further enhancing its protective capacity. It also aids in collagen synthesis, which is essential not just for skin and joints, but also for maintaining the structure of blood vessels that feed the brain. Despite its importance, the body doesn't store vitamin C well. It must be consumed daily through food or supplementation. Fresh fruits like oranges, kiwi, strawberries, and vegetables like bell peppers and broccoli are rich sources, but stress, illness, or intense mental activity can deplete levels quickly. Optimal daily intake ranges between 500 doses the separate despiciation to stress. Taking it in divided doses enhances absorption. Ensuring consistent vitamin C intake helps elevate mental energy, sharpen cognition, protect memory, and enhance emotional resilience. It's a daily essential for both mind and body. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA eicosapentaenoic acid and DHA docosahexaenoic acid, are not technically vitamins, but their role in brain and body transformation is so significant they must be treated as essential nutrients. DHA in particular is a structural component of the brain, making up nearly 30% of the brain's gray matter. Without sufficient DHA, the fluidity and flexibility of neuronal membranes suffer, compromising how efficiently signals are transmitted across synapses. This directly impacts learning capacity, memory retention, mood regulation, and overall cognitive processing. EPA, on the other hand, plays a more regulatory role in controlling inflammation, especially in the brain. Chronic low-grade inflammation in neural tissue is a silent driver of cognitive decline, anxiety, and even depression. EPA helps counterbalance this by supporting anti-inflammatory pathways, making the brain a more resilient and stable environment for thought and emotional regulation. Clinical studies have shown that omega-3 supplementation improves attention, executive function, and even reduces symptoms of ADHD and depression. In aging populations, higher DHA levels are linked with slower brain aging and a lower risk of dementia. These fats also support neurogenesis, the formation of new brain cells, and boost levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, a protein essential for neuroplasticity and mental performance. The body cannot produce EPA and DHA efficiently on its own, which means they must come from the diet, primarily fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or through high-quality fish oil or algae-based supplements. An ideal daily dose for cognitive support is between 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA. Consistency over time leads to cumulative effects, enhancing the brain's structural integrity and function. Incorporating omega-3s daily helps support sharper thinking, balanced mood, improved memory, and a stronger, more resilient nervous system. It's a non-negotiable for brain optimization. Magnesium is one of the most essential minerals in the body, yet it remains one of the most commonly deficient. It is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes, many of which are critical to neurological function, energy metabolism, and muscle control. But its most profound effects are seen in the brain. Magnesium helps regulate neurotransmitters, including GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, which has a calming inhibitory effect on the nervous system. When magnesium levels are low, this balance is disrupted, leading to increased excitability, poor stress tolerance, sleep disturbances, and even heightened anxiety. One of magnesium's core functions is to support neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections and adapt to change. Research has shown that certain forms of magnesium, particularly magnesium L-threonate, can cross the blood-brain barrier effectively and increase magnesium concentration in the cerebrospinal fluid. This results in improved learning ability, memory retention, and even reversal of age-related cognitive decline in some cases. Magnesium also plays a role in regulating NMDA receptors, which are critical for synaptic plasticity and memory formation. Without proper magnesium levels, these receptors can become overstimulated, leading to neuronal damage, excitotoxicity, and cognitive burnout. It also supports melatonin production and the parasympathetic nervous system, enhancing sleep depth and recovery, both vital for memory consolidation and brain detoxification during rest. Because modern diets are often rich in processed foods and low in magnesium-rich vegetables, seeds, and nuts, supplementation is frequently necessary. Forms like magnesium glycinate, citrate, or L-threonate are highly bioavailable and well-tolerated. A typical daily dose ranges from 200 to 400 milligrams, depending on individual needs and stress levels. With consistent use, magnesium improves mental calmness, cognitive performance, sleep quality, and overall neurological resilience, making it a cornerstone nutrient for anyone seeking long-term brain and body transformation. The human brain and body are dynamic, adaptive systems, constantly reshaping in response to the inputs we give them. The 6 nutrients we explored today, vitamin D3, vitamin B12, vitamin K2, vitamin C, omega-3s, and magnesium, are not optional luxuries. They are foundational building blocks for optimal performance, clarity, mood, and resilience. Each plays a unique role, regulating neurotransmitters, protecting against inflammation, supporting vascular health, enhancing neuroplasticity, and fueling the very energy systems your brain and body rely on every second. When you provide these nutrients consistently and in proper amounts, transformation is not only possible, it becomes predictable. You may notice sharper focus, more stable energy, improved sleep, and even emotional stability within days or weeks. And over time, these compounds help protect against the erosion of cognitive function and physical vitality that comes with age or stress. Supplements are tools, not shortcuts. They work best when combined with movement, quality sleep, deep breathing, and sunlight. But without the raw materials, even the best habits can't reach their full potential. Start by identifying your gaps, address them with intention, and commit to consistency, not perfection. The investment you make in these small daily practices will compound into a brain and body built for clarity, strength, and longevity. So why does all of this matter? Because each of these nutrients isn't just supporting your body, they're acting as tools of neuromodulation. They help shape how you feel, think, and move. And while no supplement replaces sleep, exercise, or connection, they can accelerate recovery, enhance performance, and give your body the raw materials it desperately needs in a chaotic, nutrient-depleted modern world. Start with consistency, track your levels, adjust with precision, and your body, and especially your mind, will begin to transform, not in months, in days. Let's start now.